Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 12th day of January in the year 2024. Almost said three. Thanks for joining me today. And as I am, anytime he comes on the air with us, extremely excited to say that Tony Mondaro is with us today, and he's here with us to share a little bit about this upcoming weather pattern that is hitting the area after last week. So, Tony, good afternoon. Welcome back, and I hope you're feeling better. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. It's nice to be back on the grid, and it looks like not going to be too bad. I think we'll fare a lot better than we did for the last storm, which dropped about 2.5 inches of rain on average, and winds gusted anywhere from 40 to 60 miles per hour wherever you reside. You know, the higher terrain and elevations did closer to that 60, while closer to the ground did 40 miles per hour, so not too bad. You know, some wind damage and some flooding that was reported, but I'm here to bring some good news for a change. It looks like tonight, you know, the storm does come by, but it comes by very quickly. So those of you that are out early this evening, want to do some food shopping or catch us up on some Friday evening errands, you'll be able to do that. I think the heaviest rain and strongest winds occur overnight tonight into the very wee early hours of Saturday morning, and that storm exits stage right. What can we get as far as impacts are concerned? Especially overnight now, after midnight, 1 o'clock, rain will become heavy at times again, and not 3 inches or 4 inches like the last storm, but more or less 1, maybe 1.5 inches of rainfall with locally higher amounts. So here in the Harrison, East North Arlington, Lyndhurst proper area, Belleville and Nutley, your viewing area. Look like for maybe some local flooding again. Especially in those flood-prone areas, that do collect some water, and some pretty good wind gusts up to maybe 40 to 45 miles per hour, and then it really exits it tomorrow morning. A lot better than it was last time. So, like I said, if you want to do anything earlier this evening, before 9 o'clock, I think you're safe to do that. Beautiful afternoon here. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 40s, and it's sunny out, and it looks like the clouds will probably wind up coming in, as the sun starts to set later on this afternoon.
What are you expecting temperature-wise on Saturday? I've heard some mixed reports that we might be looking at some 50s or maybe even 60. Is that right?
Yeah, I think 60 has a shot if the clouds can clear up early enough tomorrow. A lot of times after these storm events, the atmosphere is a little chaotic, so you have that mix of clouds and sunshine. And there'll be a pretty stiff breeze, too. It'll start from the southwest and then from the northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. It'll be busy. It'll be gusting over 30 miles per hour, at times on Saturday. Then with a stronger cold front coming through on Sunday, don't be surprised if some areas get some snow showers and even some snow squalls that can really limit visibility for a little while. And that's going to set the stage possibly for maybe a snowstorm here on Tuesday. Now, the model guidance is all over the place, as it usually is at this early time. There's always going to be one or two of the outliers, but those outliers might have hold a clue what's going to happen on Tuesday. So our safe bet right now, as we approach this holiday weekend, Monday being Martin Luther King Day, would be watch the weather, watch the Harrison Weather Facebook site closely for updates. We'll have them every 12 to 24 hours on the storm on Tuesday. Right now, we think that we could have a period of snow. It could be anywhere from a couple of inches to maybe 4 inches of snow. But Kevin, it's early on in the process, and like I always say, that's going to probably change as we get closer to the event. Matter of fact, we're seeing those higher numbers that some of the computer models have been forecasting for the last several days starting to back off a little bit. But one thing for sure, next week, folks, it does get cold around here, and it should. It's winter time. In the winter time, it's cold and snow. The mainstream media would make you think that it never snowed here, and we never get cold here in the winter
Right.
time, but it does happen occasionally. So don't be surprised.
Well, it's interesting. I was watching some TV last night, and my buddy Adam Ginsberg texted me, and he says, "Is it true that we might see 10 inches of snow on Tuesday?" And my answer to him is, I didn't think it. I didn't answer him this way, but my new answer to anybody in my brain, at least, and I don't blurt it out, is, "Are you kidding me? It's Thursday. We don't know. We're not going to know anything about Tuesday yet." But he said that there were agencies that were calling for that. 5 days out. 5 days out. How? I mean, we're never gonna escape that, are we, Tone? It's unbelievable.
Now, unfortunately, with the social media the way it is today, and could I easily come on here and say, yeah, blizzard on Tuesday, Kev, we'll see you next week, we'll see you after the storm. But is that really serving anybody any purpose? It
No.
really isn't. We look at about literally 16 different suites of computer guidance over here. And yes, the highest guidance yesterday had anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow, especially just north and west of our area, over Morris County, Passaic County. But looking at this morning, looking at the updates, it's now backing off of that. So does it really serve anybody any purpose? So what we do is we say, hey, look, we want to identify there may be a storm first of all, and then what day could it be? A couple of days ago, it could be anywhere from Monday to Wednesday. Now it's kind of honed in on Tuesday. So as we get a little closer this weekend, we'll start to hone in on exactly, the impacts that we'll have on this area. Right now we're thinking that could be at least a couple of inches of snow, and it's going to be cold. And the rather active weather patterns will continue. Kevin, just from last January 1st to today, we had over a foot, 12 inches of rain, over 12 inches of rain.
My
You
God.
don't imagine if that was, back
Snow.
in the old days when it was
Right.
really cold during the winter time.
I
We
can't.
suck. The snow would be over our heads. So let's thank God, and thank God that we're getting this now, so we don't have a drought. We don't have drought conditions in the summertime. This is really going to help. Does the snowpack help? Yes, man.
Sure.
The snowpack does help if we have snowpack, but we're gaining it in water. And two, I just want to go to say too, Kev, even though the impacts may not be severe here overnight, just to the north and west with those fragile rivers and streams in the Passaic River Basin, which is going to take a lot less rainfall to cause flooding. People have to be on guard in that Wayne and Little Falls and Pompton Lakes, all up in Passaic County. Be on guard, listen to the official National Weather Service forecast there, and your local emergency management. Now, for those who have homes down the shore, another round of back pay flooding is likely. National Weather Service has posted watches and warnings and advisories for that tonight. And also along the barrier islands, a high wind warning is in effect. Places like Seaside Heights and the island beach down there,
Right.
where they could see, I think, wind gusts between 60 and 70 miles an hour later on tonight for a brief time, as that center of low pressure rides to the west of us, and the elements and the dynamics of the storm ride over that area the worst.
If you're just joining us, we are speaking with the one and only immortal Tony Mondaro of the Harrison Weather Center. Um, it's funny you brought up the cold, because every so often when the Devils are playing, I'll take a look at the weather forecast in some of the cities where they're playing. And although the Devils weren't playing there, I looked up Edmonton, Alberta, and the wind chill was minus 45 last night at 7 o'clock in the morning. So do you think we have it bad here? I don't think so. We are definitely lucky. Imagine dealing with that.
Well, I'll tell you something though. You don't want to deal with that. That's life-threatening cold right there. But I'll tell you something. What's in our favor next week? If you take a look at a national weather map on any of these national TV shows over the next couple of days, you'll notice that the cold air is dropping right straight out of Canada to the Midwest. So that means when the cold air gets here east, it's modified. It's a modified cold air, meaning that it's cold, but it's not as cold as it could be. Now, when the polar vortex drops in over us from eastern Canada, that's when we get the coldest weather. So yeah, it'll be a little bit modified, and then it looks like we'll start to get milder again, especially toward the end of the month. So a rather active January.
Okay. So bottom line, you want to get stuff done between the next 48 to 72 hours, best bet is to do it tonight before 9 p.m.,
Yeah,
right?
early evening. It's your best bet. Tomorrow's not a bad day. It's just windy. You know, it's that shopping cart's gonna be chasing you all around the shop, right, or wherever you go to, do your grocery shopping. You know, it's gonna be a windy day, but the main rain will be out of here.
Tremendous. We are joined in the chat room right now by Barbara Condon, who is watching from the Adirondacks. I'm sure it's a little colder up in her neck of the woods. Carol Manley is down the shore, and your buddy Paul Haggerty is here with us as well. But I'm not noticing any questions in the chat room, so I think we're pretty solid for this week, right?
You know, when they have no questions, that means, Kevin, that we did a pretty good job.
No, it means you did a pretty good job. I'm just here facilitating, so thank you, buddy. But as always, it's always a pleasure, and I'm so grateful that you were able to do this again today. So now everybody's ready for this weekend, and how could I ask for more than that? Thank you, buddy.
No, you're welcome, Kevin, and thank you for a job well done last Tuesday with your reporting on the Corning Town Council reorg meeting. That was very, very interesting. I think it's award-winning, like we said this before we went on the air. So have a good weekend, everybody, and follow us on Facebook. We'll have the latest with this latest storm tonight as it rolls through, and then of course, as we get closer to Tuesday, we'll have some better numbers and some better information for the possible potential snow situation on Tuesday.
And if you're wondering how to get Tony on Facebook, it's right under his picture right here, www.facebook.com/harrison.weather.1. So get on there. You can't friend him, you can't like him because he's a little popular with 5,000 friends. But you could still read all the forecasts. Tony, thank you, brother.
Thank you, Kev. Have a great weekend.
You too, Tony. And everybody else, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you next week. Take care, everybody.